Hey, what's up, guys? Let's see. Okay, see what we have here. I don't need this. All right, good morning, guys. Today is Friday, August 25th. As usual, analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. So looking at this for the daily bias, currently what we have, and keep in mind, I prefer not to trade on Fridays. We've been nicely profitable this week. So this week we've had a, what is it? We've had a 1.5% return. So no major need to risk anything just for the sake of trading. But anyway, going over our daily biases. Let's see. For the day, give me a second. Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant to do the hand raise. No, the other one, the double hands. All right, good weekend, guys. All right. All right. So here for the daily bias, I'm sorry, I was ending another call. For US 30, the daily bias is bearish. For gold, the daily bias is bullish. For EU, the daily bias is bearish. And for the DXY, the daily bias is bullish as can be seen there. Let's see, I need to change something here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so seeing that, now when we go down to the 4-hour time frame for US 30, we have this double SAR on the 4-hour time frame, right? So if it's a double SAR, what we would expect is if we're selling and the bias is bearish, or my bias is still bearish for US 30, I would want for 2 candle closures below this double SAR. Now, the first candle to close below both of them was this huge candle yesterday. And then the next candle was this one. So of course, right, this is not a trade that anyone should have taken, because I always say, make sure your stop loss is above there. So, right, the stop loss could have been so far away. So this is why I always say, wait for that retracement. So the trade validated at this point, but right, it's better to wait for that retracement, quote unquote, that Judas swing back up. So in this zone right now, this is where we are looking, or would be looking, for an entry on the 5-minute. So on the 5-minute, we're looking for the same thing that happened here on the 4-hour. We would be looking for 2 5-minute candle closures below a sell SAR. And right, if you come down to the 15-minute and 5-minute, I don't recommend you to extend your lines. So you can see this whole time during that uptrend, the only time we had 2 5-minute candle closures was at 1:30 a.m., which was right here. Let me see when this candle closed, when this 4-hour candle closed. Okay, yeah. So the first entry could have been this one right here. And of course, if you entered there, you would have gotten stopped out. So this was the first. So keep in mind, it's also Friday. So this could have been the first validated entry on the 5-minute time frame, but of course you could have gotten stopped out. The next one just happened before market open, which was this one. But right, went like 40 pips in profit, and then right, went back up. So I still expect US 30 to drop. So if you look at what happened to US 30 yesterday, you can see we had this spike. So if we go to the hourly time frame, where is that? I'm trying to hide this line. Okay, so if we go here on the hourly time frame, you see this manipulation move yesterday, and this was during market open. So US 30 pumped up all the way to fake out, to do a stop hunt before it actually made the move down. So what they're doing right now can be similar to that. So which is why I did send that trade in the Discord before the market opened, but then I mentioned that it was best to wait for when or after the market opens. So here I'll be looking, for me to even think of selling US30, I will need 2 5-minute candle closures to happen either below this same level or to create another live 5-minute SAR, sell SAR. Gold, I'm still bullish on gold. So you see this area on gold, this is where we bought gold yesterday. Actually, so this is the same area, and you can see, right, it's a heavy demand zone. And this is on the 30-minute time frame, which is the same time frame we entered yesterday. So we are bullish on gold, but keep in mind, right, this possibility of an inverse, I'm sorry, not inverse, possibility of a head and shoulder pattern right here that I marked up during the live session yesterday. So I marked it up when gold was here. Marked it up when gold was somewhere here. So for you guys who were on the live session yesterday, I marked this up yesterday. And you can see gold ideally followed along. So as much as it's giving us this, so personally, I am bullish on gold. So for me, I'm only looking for buys. However, if I go on the 4-hour time frame, so this is if I go on the 4-hour time frame, so if US30 keeps dropping, let me know, and I'll see if we get that entry on the 5-minute time frame, because I can see it's retracing slowly. But for gold on the 4-hour, if I go on the 4-hour time frame, for me to, I'm looking for double SAR zone. So for me to buy gold on the 4-hour, would have to close above 1923 with 2 4-hour candles. So I'm probably not going to get that today. And also it's a Friday. So on the 1-hour time frame, we have a double SAR here, which is one of the trade ideas I'd sent yesterday. But I did mention that we also had FOMC meetings, but this was a valid 2 candle closures above this double SAR. Only red flag was we had an FOMC member speaking. And I think also today Powell, the chairman of the Fed, is speaking at 10. So today, right, do expect the market to have some volatility in the next 1 hour or so. But if this does come down, we have 940. Yeah, I don't think, to be honest, I don't think it's worth the risk. Because if you've already made profit, and we've made a lot of profit this week, I don't think there's any need, unless we get in with like a 0.2% risk or 0.1, just something small. Because right, if Powell is speaking, like I can be bearish on US30, and ideally when Powell speaks, most of the time US30 pumps up. So as much as I'm bearish on US30, when Powell speaks, he can either, price can either, of course, either dip heavily down or just be manipulated all the way back up. And then on Sunday, they drop it again. So you really don't want to be, if it was Monday, sure, I would say we can risk the normal percentage, but it's Friday. So we'd rather do more analysis. So anyway, so my buy areas on the 1 hour is 1921, 1922 zone. And you can see we have even created a triple buy SAR zone right here. So 1921, 1919 are the buy areas for me on the 1 hour time frame. So the other areas for me to buy on the 1 hour time frame are all the way to 1896, 1894. Which, if you look at it, it supports the head and shoulder pattern that I drew up here. So as much as I'm bullish on gold, I don't have any entries to buy gold with. So here, even this on the 30-minute, this it might be a test and rejection, but for this first candle that tested, for it to be a test, I would have wanted this 30-minute candle to have closed above this double SAR. So even if this current 30-minute candle closes above this double buy SAR right here on the 30-minute, I won't be buying gold, because I need the wicks of those of the test and rejection candles to be, if I'm buying, I would need the wicks of those candles or the bodies to close above the double SARs. So here the first red flag is that the body of the test candle, or the first candle, which is the test candle, closed below this. So for me to even think about buying gold, then I would have to observe this particular 30-minute candle and wait for it. Hopefully it closes above that zone, and then wait for the next 30-minute candle, and hopefully it closes above. So the same thing that we did here yesterday when we traded, when we bought gold during this whole rejection right there. So you need to make sure that all confluences are aligning. Now, For EU, this so I'm bearish on EU, right? There were EU entries right here. If I go to so I'll just keep gold right now. So EU right here, we had a double sell SAR right here on the 4-hour time frame, right? So for me, right, I always highlight those zones even if price hasn't gotten theirs, and then I can always set an alert if I want, so that I see what price is doing or price does when it gets there. So for here on EU with the double sell SAR, you can see that the confirmation candles, so this is the first candle, closed below the double SAR. Keep in mind, for my strategies, you need 2 candle confirmations. So those are the two candles that would have given you the sell entry, or would have validated your sell. Now, sure, if you want to sell on impulse, you could have sold on impulse there and done just right, making sure that your stop loss is above the sell SARs that are right there. And if you went for like a 40, so 20 pip TP, 20 pip TP could have given you a stop loss above that zone, and 40 pip, I'm sorry, 20 pip stop loss, 40 pip TP for you to achieve a 1:2. But you can see for this trade, it wouldn't have given you that nice 1:2, I'm sorry, 1:1 risk to reward, so that you go ahead and set break even. So if you did enter this trade, yes, it was that was the valid way to enter it. However, you can see that trade would have come back up. So for me in this case, right, I would have been looking for entries here. I would have waited for price to retrace, because keep in mind, for me, the key thing is I don't want my stop loss to be, or the SARs that I'm trading to be like 80% of my stop loss. So keep in mind this entries, I like my entries being so close to the SARs that I'm trading, so that way I can avoid manipulation. So here, what I would have done is, yes, right, the trade validated there, but I wasn't going to enter on impulse. So right now, that's when I was looking at the lower time frame for entry. So you can see this is the move up that created that manipulation, right? This is the move, that candle we are looking at here, this move up. So here, what I would have been doing is waiting for 2 5-minute candle closures after this manipulated move below a 5-minute SAR. So same thing we are looking for US 30, and still haven't gotten there. But you can see for EU, this validated again before market open. But again, right, EU is not as volatile as US 30 or gold. So for this trade, that was the valid entry. I didn't take it. I really don't trade on Fridays, but that's how you could have taken this trade and avoided that manipulation. So if you took it at 1.08081, you can see the entry would have been right here. So you could have saved yourself all that drawdown and then came here, did your 20 pips, right? So your entry is even above the SARs you're trading. So, that's good. And then you do your 40 pip TP. So if I was to take that trade, if it wasn't a Friday, I would have taken this trade already. But so I really don't want to trade today. The only trade I would want to jump in is this US 30 trade. For EU, yes, you can hop in, but just know that this might hit TP next week or something. So for me, if I'm trading today, I would rather get into something that is a bit more volatile. Let me know if you guys have any questions, but we'll just wait for that 10 a.m. news and then see if we get anything. Yeah. The other trade that I'm in is GBP NZD. So I'd sent this trade. So I'd said that if this daily had closed with this sell signal using the reversal indicator, I would be entering that trade. So I'm currently in this trade with a 350 pip stop loss, 700 pip TP, so 1:2. So stop loss is way above the previous high, or well above the previous high, so that's good. And then this trade might just take a few, like 1 or 2 weeks to validate, or I'm sorry, not to validate, to hit TP or again hit stop loss. But that's the only other trade I'm in. Other than that, I am not in any trades. I'm waiting to see if this 5-minute validates. But by the time it's validating, Powell will have started speaking because his speech is at 10. What time is his speech? 10:05 a.m. So yeah. So I'm not gonna trade. I don't think we are gonna take any trades because we can observe and see what market does during then, but I wouldn't recommend any, especially when he's speaking. So probably after. So let's see what other news is happening. Up to 11:30. Oh yeah, today's gonna be a crazy day. So yeah, actually I've turned off most of my accounts. So I only have one account that I'm willing to risk to trade. So I've turned off all my other accounts. Yeah. So anyway, let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, we'll stay on for like 15 more minutes until, at least at the very least, when Powell starts speaking. If we do get this trade, I'll just do like what, 0.1%. So or 0.125%, which is risking $250, and that's on a 200K account. So so that's fine. But I just need 2 5-minute candle closures below here. Let me extend that line just a little bit. If I extend it to 10 so that we can see it. All right, there it is, maybe 12 or 15. Okay. So we need 2 5. So the same thing that happened here. So this is what I was talking about manipulation. And I said, right, in the group, I said it's better to wait after New York Open to enter this trade. So that was the trade. You can see it would have gotten manipulated. So we're waiting for the same thing that happened here, right? 2 5-minute candle closures below that. So for me, if I do enter this, right, literally 0.125, let me even put that into my trade manager. So because right, this is just a test thing. Ideally it's a valid trade. The only red flag, right, we have that heavy news in 10 minutes. So let's see. So risk to 50 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. Again, right, same thing. If those 2 5-minute candle closures are all the way down here, again, right, it's not a trade. I need my entry to be somewhere close to this 5-minute SAR here. So yes, there was an entry on the 1 minute, but I prefer the 5-minute better. But just keep in mind, right, the trade is validated. Trade is validated already on the 4-hour time frame, right? Because it was these 2 candles. So it's not like we're waiting for validation. So the trade is a go. So the question is, where are you going to enter your trade? Because these 2 candles give us the validation, waited for that Judas swing, potential Judas swing. And here I like to see such wicks right here because it tells me that we have a bunch of sellers here. So you can see when the market opened, it shot all the way up for like 70 pips and then has been coming back down. So you can see we have heavy selling volume right here. But don't get faked by that because, right, if Powell is speaking and the market is, let's assume it's supposed to go up, most likely, right, they can fake people out because if there are those smart buyers that are expecting the market to go up, and let's assume it will go up, and the market makers know that definitely this will go up, and then they see a lot of people with that are in buys or have pending buys, more than likely what are they going to do? They will trigger those pending buy orders and then bring them back down, stop hunt them. And if the market is supposed to actually go up after the news or after Powell speaks, right, it shoots all the way up. So same thing for sales, right? If the market is supposed to sell right now or even after Powell speaks, right now, right, this can be a trap for sellers or triggering those sell orders, pending sells. And then when Powell speaks or starts speaking, shoots up, triggers their stop losses, and then later on in the day, US 30 comes back down. So whether you're buying, whether you're selling, you can easily get faked out when Powell is giving his speeches. So I just want to stick around and see what's going to happen during news. All right, so that's the first candle. See how this next candle closes. Yeah, gold getting that nice rejection back up. Not bad. What else? What else? 115. All right, let's see what happens during that news release. Yeah, so this is so far down. If it wasn't a news candle, or if we didn't have any news, sure, I'd be willing to take a chance on it. But yeah, this is dipping so far down. The 1 minute entry was probably, I think the 1 minute entry would have been almost at TP. Yeah, the 1 minute entry would have been almost at TP. Man, that 10 minutes feels like forever, man. It's taking its time. So even then, so that will be at 10. Let's wait for Powell to start speaking. Best case scenario, we can always drop down to the 1 minute. I want to see what price action will do when Powell starts speaking. So 40 seconds. So keep in mind, no need to enter as much as this is what we've been waiting for, right? In another 5 minutes, Powell will be speaking. So let's just wait and see. Because best case scenario, we can use the 1 minute even after the fact. So let's just ideally, right, just watch what's going to happen. So if it was any other regular day without news, that would have been the entry, but I want to observe what happens. Because Powell is speaking in the next 5 minutes or starts speaking in the next 5 minutes at 10:05. So let's see that price action. So 3 more minutes. $34 to 93. So at 34 to 93 area, we have that single SAR, sell SAR on the 1 hour time frame. So this is also a critical area to watch. Yeah, and there goes that volatility in the market. Right, so this is just observing. I haven't taken anything. If we had taken that, we would have just gotten kicked out at break even because it went for like 50 pips. Got its 1:1. So we're just observing what happens, right? So let's see so this looks like a bunch of bullish volume coming in. And this is probably a bullish hammer candle on the 5 minute. So just observe this area right here, 34 to 93. And I don't know about you guys, but some of my terminals are already frozen because of that volatility. Look at gold, right? So this is the best thing, right? With the daily bias, because look at this, and it did respect this trend line right here to the downside as well. There it goes, 40 seconds. So this is another critical area to watch, 34,293. Now, if they break this, and keep in mind also on the daily, we don't have any even sign of a bullish SAR. On the 4-hour, yesterday I know we had, but it did not. Yeah, even on the 4-hour, we don't have any. The one that was created here was invalidated, so nothing closed above. So probably the only place that has a buy SAR is the hourly right here. So what I would rather do here is go down to the 1 minute. Because in the 1 minute, we have, now this is good, right? We have a live SAR and that's down here. Anyway, yeah, I don't think we'll get anything. I was hoping, even for the only trade we could have taken, this trade could have ended up at break even, because the trade got it into like a 1:1. At this point, right, and given that it's Friday, I really don't feel like putting too much energy again. But if you are looking for any trades, and if you're looking for trades in the direction of the daily bias, which is a sell, I would keep this zone in mind, 34 to 32. Wait for 2 candle closures below there. And again, right, you don't want it to be literally a news candle. So you can see we have the other news at, I'm not really concerned about 11:30 and 11 because Powell is the one who he's the chair of the Fed. So his influence or his comments should supersede or should have more impact than this one's. Yeah, so I think the news that's in question or the news to be observed is the one happening right now. So if you're looking for any trade, it's better to wait for this 1 minute, go down to the 1 minute and wait for 2 1-minute candle closures below this zone, and then enter your sell there. If you want to wait on the 5 minute, do the same thing, this same zone or the SAR zone down here, wait for 2 5-minute candle closures. But other than that, I'll just be calling it a day. You can see EU, right? Again, straight before market open, EU, you could have gotten stopped out. So again, right, it's Friday, so expect that manipulation. So still bearish on EU. Wasn't in this trade, so this is similar to the trade I'd marked up for US 30 that was before market open. So this is another thing, right? Be careful about the trades that come in before market open, because you can see you can be easily manipulated or before heavy news. But if you were already in the trade, like maybe you entered 3 hours ago, right? You would be like, that's fine. It just didn't work out for you. But if you ever are not in a trade and you see a trade before, say, New York Open or before heavy news, right? Always make that, what's the probability that you can get faked out and then price comes all the way back down? Because here, if it was me and I got faked out here, I would have been like, I knew I shouldn't have traded before news. I should have just waited for the manipulation to happen and wait for the entry to come back to me. So always do that math and always know that there's always going to be other trades. But anyway, that should be it for the week. So we didn't take any trades today. So we are up about, I think we are up 4.5% for the month. So that's good. So it's just more discipline and patience nowadays. But unless you guys have any other questions, I will talk to you guys next week. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.